Okay, so welcome to IBC Siksha. We are reading Bhagavad Gita chapter 18. Let's start with the prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-Jana-Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri-Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Nitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विषभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today we are going to start with chapter 18. So this is the conclusion chapter, and Krishna is going to conclude.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. Prabhuji, whatever you say, it is coming as a this thing typing thing, Prabhuji.
What is it coming?
That whatever you speak, no, the whole thing gets typed. Even whatever we speak, that also gets typed.
Tight.
Yes, typed.
Oh,
No,
okay, okay.
typed.
Yeah,
Typed.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I know why. Yeah, this transcript is going on. Um, Saved, minimize. Okay, okay, okay. Now is it okay?
No, Prabhuji, it's still coming.
Oh, okay, sorry. Mm, um,
I think now it stopped. I don't know, it's still coming.
Now is it stopped or coming?
It's still coming.
Coming. Is it taking the whole page or it's just on the side?
It is taking the whole page now. But anyhow, we will try to go do this deal.
Okay, just a
Okay,
minute.
Prabhuji, you start. No problem. We will just do it.
Activities. Just let me check here something.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, there is a three dots like right side. You need to press over it and you will get a show caption. From there, you can disable it, Mataji. You have to do it, Mataji, from your end.
From my this thing,
Yes, yes, Mataji.
where it is.
Three
There's,
dots, Mataji. Like,
there's no three dots in my this thing, Mataji.
Mataji, if you just press this thing, there is a hand symbol, there is a mic, and
Yeah.
next to that there are three dots after
Okay, okay.
hand symbol.
Yeah.
Press that,
Uh-huh.
and then there is show captions. Press
Or
that.
turn off captions, something like that.
Turn off captions. Yes.
Okay, Prabhuji. I'll do that.
Okay. So
Okay.
now, is it coming now? Now.
Wait 1 second, Prabhuji. Turn
Is
off
it
captions, yeah. Now it
okay?
is gone, Prabhuji.
It's gone. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. So perfection of renunciation. Krishna is going to conclude that you have to surrender to me. And in the previous chapter, we said right that everything should be done for Om Tat Sat.
Yes.
And do we know who is the Om Tat Sat?
Om is Vishnu.
The Om Tat Sat is Krishna.
Krishna.
So ultimately, Krishna is going to conclude that in the 8th chapter, saying that you have to do it for me. And he summarizes the whole Bhagavad Gita again in this 18th chapter. Um, so the first 1 to 6 karma section he is going to talk in the first 12 verses. Then 13 to 17 jnana section he is going to say from 13 to 18. Then summary of yoga ladder, karma 19 to 40. Nishkam Karma Yoga 41 to 48. Nishkam Karma Yoga through liberation to devotional service 49 to 55. Working in pure devotional service. More confidential knowledge, surrender to Super Soul. Most confidential knowledge, become a pure devotee of Krishna, surrender to Krishna himself. Then preaching and studying Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is firmly fixed, Sanjay's prediction. So like this, there are how much 11 sections to this long chapter. Yeah, we will see. We have almost 8 sessions. We will see how much we can cover. Okay, so let's get into it.
Prabhuji, exam is on June 3rd.
Yeah, that's fine, Mataji. I shared the question paper, right? So just go through it.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, someone start reading translation and purport.
Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, tyaga, and of the renounced order of life, sannyasa, O killer of the Kesi demon, master of the senses. Purport. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita is finished in 17th chapter. The 18th chapter is a supplementary summarization of the topics discussed before. In every chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna stresses that devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. This same point is summarized in the 18th chapter as the most confidential path of knowledge. In the first 6 chapters, stress was given to devotional service. Yoginam api sarvesam, of all the yogis or transcendentalists, one who always thinks of me within himself is best. In the next 6 chapters, pure devotional service and its nature of activities were discussed. In the third sixth chapter, knowledge, renunciation, and the activities of material nature and transcendental nature and devotional service was described. It was concluded that all acts should be performed in conjunction with the Supreme Lord, represented by the words Om Tat Sat, which indicate Vishnu, the Supreme Person. The third part of Bhagavad Gita has shown that devotional service and nothing else is the ultimate purpose of life. This has been established by citing past acharyas and the Brahma Sutra, the Vedanta Sutra. Certain impersonalists consider themselves to have a monopoly or the knowledge of Vedanta Sutra, but actually the Vedanta Sutra is meant for understanding devotional service. For the Lord himself is the composer of the Vedanta Sutra and he is its knower. That is described in the 15th chapter. In every scripture, in every Veda, devotional service is the objective. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. As in the second chapter, a synopsis of the whole subject matter was described. In the 18th chapter, also the summary of all instruction is given. The purpose of life is indicated to be renunciation and attainment of the transcendental position above the three material modes of nature. Arjuna wants to clarify the two distinct subject matter, the Bhagavad Gita, namely renunciation, tyaga, and the renounced order of life, sannyasa. Thus, he is asking the meaning of these two words. Two words are used in these words to address the Supreme Lord. Rishikesha and Kesi Nisuddhana are insignificant. Rishikesha is Krishna, the master of all senses, who can always help in us attain mental serenity. Arjuna requests him to summarize everything in such a way that he can remain equipoised. Yet he has some doubts, and doubts are always compared to demons. He therefore addresses Krishna as Kesi Nisuddhana. Kesi was the most formidable demon who was killed by the Lord. Now Arjuna is expecting Krishna to kill the demon of doubt. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So he asked this question: what is the difference between renunciation and sannyas? Sorry, tyaga and sannyas.
Sannyas.
Okay. So now that you all have read Bhagavad Gita, and these words have come many times: tyaga, sannyas. Well, what it means to you?
Tyaga is sacrifice, no Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead. Tyaga, sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Okay. And sannyas?
Sannyas, detachment from material.
Yeah, detachment from
Material world.
Material world.
Material world slash activity.
Activities.
Okay. Anything more? Anything more?
Tyaga means like giving up the fruits of the activities.
Okay. Anything? This is a sannyas order.
Hmm.
Let's say it
Renounced
has to be
order of
done in a
life.
sannyas ashram after age 50 plus. You know, some can say like that, right? Sannyas ashram. Anything more?
Sannyas cannot be attained without performing your duties, Prabhuji. Like we should.
Okay. 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 To be obtained after performing our duties.
Duties.
Good. It requires maturity also. Great
Hmm.
maturity, right? Not anybody can. Okay.
And
Anything?
Prabhuji, even sannyasas, no, they won't take. They have to take food from other people, no, from that is alms from the 5 or 6 houses, 4 or 5 houses, like that.
Okay. They should not cook for themselves
Yes.
and beg.
They
Good.
cannot possess any
No possession.
property or something. No possessions.
And
No
they are not supposed to
association
stay
with
at one
women
place.
and
Mm-mm.
worldly people.
Sannyasa itself
They are
means
not supposed.
sacrifice everything and then go and sit in one secluded place,
They have
isn't
to
it,
travel
Prabhuji?
from one place
Yes.
to another place. Don't Prabhuji? They should
Huh?
stay at one place. They are supposed not supposed to stay at one place.
Yeah, traveling to holy places.
Places.
Yes.
Mainly they do preaching, Prabhuji, preaching the glories of the
Lord.
Lord.
Preaching, studying Vedanta, sutras, and chanting the holy name. Krishna. Okay, so we have certain understanding of tyaga sannyasa, right?
Mm.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Krishna is going to give a definition. He's going to make us understand. Uh, the Supreme Personality Godhead said that giving up activities that are based on material desire is what learned men called renounced order of life, sannyasa. And giving up results of activity is what wise called renunciation, which you had the proper understanding, right? The performance activities for result has to be given up. This is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. But activities leading to spiritual knowledge is not to be given up. Very interesting. We will just read, then it will become clear. This will be made clear in the next verses.
Mm.
In the Vedic literature, there are many prescriptions and methods for performing sacrifice for some particular purpose. There are certain sacrifices to perform to attain a good son or to attain good elevation to higher planets, but sacrifices prompted by desires should be stopped. However, sacrifices for purification of one's heart and for advancement in spiritual science should not be given up. So one may say, sacrifice for attaining good son is to be given up. But then, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, Devaki, and Vasudev,
Also,
they desired to have Krishna as their child. What is the difference between the two? They are also thinking of a son, and this is also thinking of a son. What is the difference between the two?
They were not thinking Krishna as a god. They were thinking him as a normal child.
No. They were thinking of Krishna as when they want, they actually perform sacrifices for many years to attain Krishna as their child.
Yes.
So that sacrifice becomes devotional service, whereas this doesn't become devotional service. What is the problem? Where it lacks and how we can, it is the same thing, right? They are also performing sacrifices to have Krishna as their son, and someone may also perform certain sacrifice to attain a good son. But then this desire to should be stopped. This sacrifices is not so much recommended. So
Prabhuji, desiring as a son, they want to serve Krishna as a they
yeah,
want to serve Krishna. So
so
that's
so
what they
in the
desire.
previous chapter we read that all activities we should be doing for Om
Krishna.
Tat Sat.
Don't
So how
touch it.
to connect this to Om Tat Sat? We should connect it for devotion service,
Mm.
right? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur also desired to have a son, a ray of Vishnu, to spread the whole movement. So instead of attaining just a good son, attain a desire for a good devotee son. Getting a Vaishnava in the family. So that Krishna can be served. Right? So then such sacrifice is not to be given. Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up. Like some may say, okay, give up everything, all fruitive activities. No son, no desire, nothing. While other sages maintain act of sacrifice, charity, penance should never be abandoned. Some say don't give up sacrifice, charity, penances. And then there are sub contentions like animal sacrifice. Some say should not do, some say should do, right? But in a
Prabhuji,
sacrifice, a
but
new life,
animal sacrifice in the previous in the those days and all because they wanted to give a new life to the animal. No, Prabhuji.
they didn't want to give a new life. They
Mm.
would do the sacrifice and the animal would get a new life,
No
would
life.
mean that the sacrifice is successful.
Mm.
So that was actually the test. And if that got failed, the sacrifice would fail and then there would be bad reactions.
Mm.
So therefore, in Kali Yuga, we cannot do such sacrifice because it is bound to fail.
So in those days they used to use, chant the Vedas and then they do the sacrifice of the animal and then
Yes,
get a
yeah,
new.
yeah. I mean, it's a very difficult test.
Mm.
It's a very difficult test.
So that these animals will become a human being or another.
Yes,
Yeah, human being.
animals will be promoted to immediately to human form of life.
Okay.
So it's a very difficult one. It is not an easy one.
Mm.
Remember that. Oh, best of Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation. So now Krishna is going to give his judgment. Oh, tiger among the words, among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds. What are the three kinds of renunciation? There is a what is the name of the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita?
The three modes of material nature, Prabhuji.
Yes.
That
So
is
renunciation will be
passion,
of
goodness, passion, and
Oh,
ignorance.
so
yeah.
goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Yes. So renunciation will be of three kinds: goodness, passion, ignorance. So goodness will be, let's say, good.
Good.
Passion will result in
Misery.
misery,
Misery,
and ignorance will result in
Madness.
madness.
Foolishness.
madness. So
Madness.
renunciation was done by three brothers in Ramayana. Name the three brothers.
That is Ravana,
Vibhishana, Ravana, and
Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana.
Kumbhakarna.
Kumbhakarna.
Vibhishana.
Okay.
Kumbhakarna.
So Ravana, Vibhishan, Kumbhakarna, they all did renounce, and
Hmm.
they started doing sacrifice and tapasya, tyaga and tapasya.
Hmm.
And what happened at the end?
So
Ravana
Vibhishana became goodness, and then Ravana and Kumbhakarna
Ravana was
became
passionate,
passion.
and Kumbhakarna was kind of mad
Ignorance.
only.
Ignorance. Always
Ignorance.
sleeping. Always
Yeah.
sleeping. Mhm.
So yes. Okay. Text number 5. Acts of sacrifice, charity, penances are not to be given up. So Krishna says, don't give up sacrifice, don't give up charity, don't give up penances. Indeed, they purify even great souls. Those who are great souls, they become more pure by doing that. Now, you all wear gold, right? So
Yes,
gold,
Prabhuji.
how they make the gold pure?
By
How gold?
melting.
By
Sorry?
electrolysis.
Melting and
melting
heating.
under high
And all those
temperature.
things.
The more it is melted, the better it is. The purer it is, right? Yes or no?
That's also black coal only, no, Prabhuji.
What? Sorry?
It's a black coal. It's called as black coal. From that they purify by heating it.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is the gold, the more they heat it, it
The more
becomes,
pure it is.
yeah, it becomes more purer and purer and purer and purer, right?
Mm.
If you buy that bullion, which is the biscuit, gold biscuit, it will be
Nice.
99.9999% pure, right?
Yes,
Mm.
Prabhuji.
Hmm. And the jewelry person, he will just weigh it. He won't even test it. He'll just weigh it, and then he will give you equivalent, necklace
Equivalent.
or whatever.
Mm.
So that's what I'm saying. That gold is pure, but it can be made more pure if it is more heated. Similarly, this sacrifice, charity, penances will make great souls more purer. Like Janak Maharaj, he was I think after his time he was flying through the heavenly planets and all that, other planets, and he saw hell also. Seeing that hell, that people are suffering so much, that he immediately desired to do something good for them. So he immediately prayed, whatever good karma that I have, whatever pious credit that I have collected, I give it all to these hellish people. And immediately they all got, purified. And the whole hell became empty. So now, did Janak Maharaj lose all his pious credits?
No.
No, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So
It increased. It
the
increased.
yes. So the power of sacrifice, charity, penances purify even the great souls. It's like that. Hmm? The yogis should perform acts for advancement of human society. So, like Janak Maharaj is one yogi, right? Whose name Krishna gives in fourth chapter, I think, or maybe third chapter. So he's a yogi, bhakti yogi is. So to perform acts for advancement of society, they should do. There are many purificatory processes for advancing a human being to spiritual life. The marriage ceremony is, for example, considered to be one of the sacrifices. It says Vivaha Yagya. It's a samskara also, right? Should a sannyasi who is a renounced order of life and who has given up family relations encourage marriage ceremony? Yes or no? Should a sannyasi
Yes,
encourage marriage ceremony?
Ye-
yes,
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 Prabhuji.
Why?
Prabhuji, because he has come from the grahastha to this thing, no
Let's say
sannyas.
he has not come from Grahastha to that. Let's say he's like Narad Muni. Should he recommend? Should he
Yes,
Yes,
encourage?
Prabhuji.
Yes,
yes, Prabhuji.
Why?
because it's purificatory process. Because he
Yes,
is
he is
yoga.
recommending
He
for
should
Because
others,
they
right?
can have
Others
a
are not.
Krishna conscious, they can increase the Krishna conscious population.
The thing is, he's encouraging for others, and others are not at his level. No? He
Hmm.
may be great sannyasi, great devotee, but if other small devotee comes, struggling with his mind and senses, and you
Prab-
cannot say him, okay, give up everything. No, for him, he has to tell him you have to be on the slow process. So you have to do this yagya. Which yagya? Vivaha yagya.
Prabhuji, for Hiranyakashipu's son Prahalada, he only encouraged, he gave him all the knowledge to Prahalada, no, when he was in the womb.
Right.
So by marriage ceremony only you can do that. The devotee, that the child will be in the womb and he can give the blessings to them, to the devotee.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, depending on the qualification, we have to give different solutions. Okay. So a sannyasi may be at the highest spiritual realization, but depending on the audience that he is facing, he should give those kind of solutions. So if it is for welfare activity of that person, then he should say you should become married. There were 10,000 sons of Daksha, and they were so detached, and they were so much in renounced, and so much in tapasya, that when Narad Muni came in front of them, he said, no more marriage for you. Come on, everyone take to sannyas and go back to Godhead. And they accepted. Then Daksha got angry. He said, I created all these sons so that they get married and then population increases. And what is Narad Muni doing? So next time, he had 1,000 sons, the Prachetas. Sorry, not the Prachetas. This is a story in Bhagavata. And these 1,000 brothers of the elder brothers, they also met Narad Muni. And to him also he said the same thing. Your elder brothers took sannyas, went back home back to Godhead. You also go. So they also did. Then Daksha got very angry. Then very carefully he had daughters. Then after that,
That's Sati.
so then he couldn't. Narad Muni couldn't do anything. Daughters. They have to marry. And he then arranged one marriage. Actually, he arranged marriage of Parvati and Shiva.
Parvati and Shiva.
Yeah. Then Brahma arranged the marriage of Sati and Shiva.
Shiva.
And then when Sati went away, then she took birth again as Parvati. Then Narad Muni went and told about the greatness of Shiva
Shiva.
in the
Yeah.
in the kingdom of the king, where Parvati was his daughter. And Parvati heard that, and then she said, oh, Shiva is a great personality. If I marry Shiva only. so so Narad Muni, for the welfare of everything, he has to say, give different solutions, right? This is what it means. Okay. So the Lord here says that any sacrifice is meant for human welfare should never be given up. Vivaha Yagya, the marriage ceremony, is meant to regulate the human mind so that it becomes peaceful for spiritual advancement. Right? Yeah. So for most men, this Vivaha Yagya should be encouraged even by persons in renounced order of life. Sannyasis should never associate with women. But that does not mean that one who is in the lower stage of life, a young man, should not accept a wife in the marriage ceremony. So whoever is in the lower stage, sannyasi should, okay, you're not at the higher stage. You will create problems if you become sannyasi. For you marry. Okay, all prescribed sacrifices are meant for achieving Supreme Lord. So sannyas ashram, vivaha sacrifice is also meant to achieve Supreme Lord. Therefore, in the lower stages, one should not be given up. Similarly, charity is for purification of heart. Charity is what? To give up certain thing, right? So by giving up willingly, your heart becomes purified. Why? Because you lose that attachment. You lose that attachment for that money, for that possession, right? So then your heart becomes detached. Then it's easy. A detached heart, can take to spiritual life very nicely. Yeah. If charity is given to suitable persons, as described previously, it leads one to advanced spiritual life. All these activities should be performed without attachment or without expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. O son of Pritha, that is my final opinion. So this is what is final opinion of Krishna. Without attachment, we always heard this. Without expectation of result, meaning we should not be doing it just for the result. Whether result comes or doesn't come, one will perform his activity. Like the soldiers, they perform their duty, and the result is what? What is the result? What is the result of soldiers performing duty?
They attain heaven, Prabhuji.
No, they may get some salary. Now, if they do
Okay.
it just for the salary, then it is then they may become selfish, right? So they
Yes.
have to do it without attachment, whether they get the next salary or not. What do I mean by that? Even if their life goes away, they will do it. So at that point, they're not thinking, oh, my salary, I won't get my salary. They will give up their life. It's a matter of duty for them, right? So that way, our activity should be performed. Hmm? Matter of duty, without attachment, without expectation of result. Although all sacrifices are purifying, one should not expect any result of such performances. In other words, all sacrifices which are meant for material advancement in life should be given up, but sacrifices that purify one's existence and elevate one to spiritual plane should not be stopped. Okay, can you give me an example where one does a sacrifice to elevate one to spiritual plane?
Ashwamedha Yagna or something.
Okay, that is not what we do. Some sacrifice we do twice a month.
Ekadashi, Prabhuji. Ekadashi.
Yes. Now, if you read the benefits of Ekadashi, there are material, what to say, material fruits also of performing Ekadashi, and there are spiritual fruits of performing Ekadashi. What a devotee will choose?
Spiritual one.
Yeah, he won't say, "Oh, just for material purpose, I am doing Ekadashi." No, his his um, his motivation will be for spiritual advancement. So that's how, though that's how, like someone may do sacrifice, Ekadashi sacrifice for material advancement also. Like there are many people who do that because they read the benefits of Ekadashi and then they say, okay, I want that only. But then devotees, they do it for spiritual benefit. Everything leads to Krishna consciousness must be encouraged. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita said that any activity leads to devotional service to the Lord should be accepted. That is the highest criteria of religion. A devotee of the Lord should accept any kind of work, sacrifice, charity which will help him to discharge devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Okay. Prescribed duty should never be renounced. One should give up his prescribed. If one gives up his prescribed duty because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in mode of ignorance. Okay. Someone read the purport.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Okay.
Work for material satisfaction must be given up, but activities which promote one to spiritual activity, like cooking for the Supreme Lord and offering the food to the Lord and then accepting the food, are recommended. It is said that a person in the renounced order of life should not cook for himself. Cooking for oneself is prohibited, but cooking for the Supreme Lord is not prohibited. Similarly, a sannyasi may perform a marriage ceremony to help his disciple in the advancement of Krishna consciousness. If one renounces such activities, it is to be understood that he is acting in the mode of darkness.
Okay.
Should I read further?
Um, yes. Yeah. Read
Anyone,
it.
anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. One who is in Krishna consciousness should not give up earning money out of fear that he is performing fruitive activities. If by working one can engage his money in Krishna consciousness, or if by rising early in the morning one can advance his transcendental Krishna consciousness, one should not desist out of fear or become or because such activities are considered troublesome. Such renunciation is in the mode of passion. The result of passionate work is always miserable. If a person renounces work in that spirit, he never gets the result of renunciation.
So
Should I
if
read?
one is thinking, it's very troublesome, body discomfort, then then gives up, then it becomes very miserable. One of the example given is here is earning money. Earning money in today's world, some difficulty is there, right?
Mm.
Prabhujis will understand this much better. um Mataji, cooking, everyday cooking, it has some bodily discomfort, right? Especially in the month of summer, in the summer month like May, June, it's very hot, right? And the cooking
Mm.
itself is very hot. Today we have chimneys, but still, the whole kitchen becomes hot. But if the wife, mother thinks, I don't want to cook today, it's bodily discomfort, then the result will be miserable, right? The family will be miserable. Even if they think, okay, let's order from outside, what is the misery over there? Only
We
in
cannot
rare
offer
case, only in
offer
rare
the food
cases,
to
we have
Krishna.
to do that. But sorry, what did you say,
We,
Mataji?
we cannot offer the food to Krishna.
Yeah, we cannot offer the food to Krishna, or even if we offer in the mind, the consciousness of that food is not very clean. Only in
Yeah.
rare cases we have to do that. So yeah, so it's, the result is miserable. Now let's read mode of goodness renunciation. Someone read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. O
Yeah.
Arjuna,
Hmm.
when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness.
Yeah.
Purport also, Prabhuji?
So it's out to be done like duty, material association give up, attachment to the fruit, that also you give up, then it is in mode of goodness. Yeah, read the purport.
Hare Krishna. Prescribed duties must be performed with this mentality. One should act without attachment for the result. He should be disassociated from the modes of work. A man working in Krishna consciousness in a factory does not associate himself with the work of the factory nor with the workers of the factory. He simply works for Krishna. And when he gives up the result for Krishna, he is acting transcendentally.
Okay. So the word associate is used. How does the worker in a factory does not associate? Is it possible, not possible? How he does it? Any thoughts?
I mean, he associates only to the extent where like physical interactions, they have to get some work done. They have to cooperate with each other and they get the work
Yeah,
done. I mean,
for
not
the
on the
sake of the work.
personal level,
Yeah, what does
not
it
on
mean
the
by on the personal level?
like sharing their food or talking about personal things or talking about normal materials topics and all. He doesn't do all those
Sure,
things.
sure. Yeah, good,
He
good.
limits himself to only to the work.
Yes. So in nectar of instruction, this verse, ददाति प्रतिगणाति गुह्यम अख्याति पृच्छति भुंक्ते भोजते चैव सद्विधिम प्रीति लक्षणम. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasadam, offering prasadam are six symptoms of love shared by one a devotee and another. So this is association. If we are doing all these six activities or even one of them, then we are associated. Out of which there are two things which will make our association even stronger. Revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially. So when somebody is working in factory and all that, there may be some gifts, giving, accepting. There may be some food, giving, accepting. Now revealing one's mind, does it happen? Yes, it can happen. Inquiring confidentially, that can also happen. Then how to avoid that? You reveal your mind only for the sake of that work. You inquire only for the sake of the work, right? You should not reveal one's mind for spiritual understanding or inquiry. That is not to be done with non-devotees. Okay? So the association means all the six activities. And some of them may be happening. Like someone may bring some fruit or something, may give you, you may give them some prasad and all that. That can happen. They may give you gifts and you will give them gifts. That can also happen. But these two, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, for spiritual matters we won't touch them. But yes, for the work matter we will, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So this is how association. We have to understand the dynamics of association. How to associate, how not to associate. Similarly, at home also, if you are in the family, extended family, or you know with relatives, friends who are not devotees, then again we have to apply the same principles. We may give gifts, we may accept gifts, we may give some prasad, we may accept some prasad. But revealing one's mind in confidence, that we will be very restrictive. Inquiring confidentially, that will be very restrictive. That's a space we will only give to very trusted people, and especially to devotees for spiritual circles. Okay. So yeah, these are the dynamics. Somebody read 10.
Hare Krishna. The intelligent renouncer situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work.
Yeah. See, sometimes some work, right? Maybe something inauspicious in it. Maybe something auspicious in it. Like someone may working, in a let's say goshala. Then he'll always think, oh, this work is so auspicious. This work is so auspicious. And someone will be working in some factory, which is making some utensils or shoes or something. Oh, what is this work? Not so great. So intelligent renouncer won't be hateful of that inauspicious work, and he won't be attached to auspicious work. So what is exactly that he's going to do?
He will just perform his duty, Prabhuji,
Okay,
without
he will
any,
perform his duty
without having any attachment.
without having attachment. Yes, and for the sake of duty, without
Without
attachment, what he will do of the fruits?
He will renounce it. He will give Krishna.
Yeah, he will give it to Krishna. So whether his work is auspicious or inauspicious, in both cases, he will offer the results to Krishna. He's going to get some salary out of it, right? He will offer that to Krishna. That's how he will purify that work. Hmm? A person in Krishna consciousness or in mode of goodness does not hate anything or anything which troubles his body. He does his work in proper place and proper time without fearing the troublesome effects of his duty. Such a person situated in transcendence should be understood most intelligent beyond all doubts in his activities. It is impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities. We'll be doing something or the other, will be doing. But if he who renounces the fruit of action is one who is called truly renounced. So if one is able to give up the fruit of his action, then he is truly renounced. Right? So in this case, there was a nice story which is said. I don't know which Shastra says it, but after marrying Parvati, the Shiva was living under a tree. It was Shiva or it was Parvati or Sati. I don't know. So um, Sati or Parvati told to Shiva, we should have a house. All my sisters are having a house and all that. Then after some time, Shiva also felt yes, yes. So he built a very big palatial house which would fly in the air, and then there would be an opening of that house. So he called everybody, and everyone came. At the end of the whole griha pravesh and all that, one has to give charity to the brahmanas, right? So he was giving charity to the Brahmanas, whatever they were asking. One Brahmana came at the end and he said, "Give me this place." And Shiva said, "Okay, take it." And again,
Okay.
back, both of them came back under the tree.
Yeah, that was Parvati only.
So
Parvati. Shiva.
so that's what is called as real renunciation. Now even Parvati is renounced. She didn't fight over there. What you did? She
Prabhuji,
said, "Okay, fine. Let's get back to the
now,
tree."
now in this material world, we will surely tell what you have done.
So okay,
You gave
anyway.
up the
So
hope.
yeah. So yeah, that's what Lord Shiva is. That's why he's truly renounced and he's a pure devotee. So he sets up good example of how to be a devotee. And he's not worried of the inauspicious work. Who are his friends? Who are around surrounding him? Can you name them?
Yama.
Who?
Yama.
Not Yama. Who are there? Where do Shiva lives? What he puts on his head?
He's
Shmashan
Smashana.
Prabhuji.
What is
Ashes,
around his neck?
Shamshan.
What is around his
ashes.
neck?
ashes,
Snake.
ashes,
Snake.
Snake.
ash
Snake
from the
Prabhuji.
body of the
Nandi.
dead persons.
Nandi.
Ah. And he
Nandi.
doesn't. He doesn't. He's not hateful of all those things.
Yeah.
And around him, all demons and rakshasas and yamas and actually the yakshas. They are called yakshas.
Yakshas and yes.
Ah. They are around him, and he gives them association, and slowly they advance in Krishna consciousness. So he's not worried of all these inauspicious, auspicious things, right? His father-in-law was very much interested in that, very much interested in auspicious, inauspicious things. So therefore, he
Daksha
was
Prabhu.
very hateful of inauspicious things. He said, "What this Shiva is, lives under a tree, and covers himself with ashes. Inauspicious, 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 inauspicious. Hateful, hateful, hateful." What happened to him? He became a goat.
Daksha.
ah. So yeah, it is said in Bhagavad Gita that one should never give up his work at any time. Therefore, he works for Krishna and does not enjoy the fruitive results. Whoever offers everything Krishna is actually a renouncer. And we discussed the example of Lord Shiva. There are many members of International Society for Krishna Consciousness who work very hard in the office or factory or at some place, and whatever they earn, they give it to the society. How much percentage one should give to donation, charity?
50% Prabhuji.
50% of.
Yes, at most 50. Such highly elevated souls, but uh, what percentage they should start?
25%.
10%.
10 to 25%.
What percent they should
10.
start?
10, Prabhuji, 10%.
1%.
Point 0.00001.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So they should start something. They should start with, and then slowly, slowly, they should come to the standard of 50. Okay. Such highly elevated souls are actually sannyasis and are situated in the renounced order of life. It is clearly outlined here that how to renounce the fruit of work and what purpose fruit should be renounced. Okay. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of actions are desirable, undesirable, mixed, occur after death. But those who are in renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. It's a very interesting purport. What is it? Desirable, then undesirable, and mishra, mixed. So what happens is, who is not renounced, right? They will desire something. I want to go to heavenly planet. They may not get something desirable, hellish planet they may get, and they may get something mixed, human life, where it is little heavenly and little, or maybe more than hell, right? So it is mixed. So those who are not renounced, right, they may get one of these reactions or all of that mixed. A person in Krishna consciousness acting in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna is always liberated. Therefore, he does not have to enjoy, suffer the results of his acts after death. O mighty armed Arjuna, according to Vedanta, there are 5 causes of accomplishment of all activities. Now learn of these from me. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. Someone read translation purport.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead.
O mighty armed Arjuna, according to Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all actions. Now learn all, these from me. Purport. A question may be raised that since any activity performed must have some reaction, how is it that the person in Krishna consciousness does not suffer or enjoy the reactions of work? The Lord is citing Vedanta philosophy to show how this is possible. He
Okay, wait,
says,
wait, wait.
okay.
So try to understand this question. What he says, a devotee does not have to endure, enjoy or suffer. Okay. How is that possible? Because any activity do we have to enjoy it or suffer it, right?
Yes, good.
Then how is that possible? So for that now Vedanta philosophy will be spoken. Go ahead.
He
Please say.
says that there are 5 causes for all activities, and for success in all activities, one should consider these 5 causes. So, Sankhya means the stock of
Sankhya, it is Sankhya. Sankhya.
Sankhya. Sankhya
Sankhya.
means the stock of knowledge, and Vedanta is the final stock of knowledge accepted by all leading acharyas. Even Sankara accepts Vedanta Sutra as such. Therefore, such authority should be consulted. The ultimate control is invested in the super soul. As it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivistaha. He is engaging everyone in certain activities by reminding him of his past actions. And Krishna conscious acts done under his direction from within yield no reaction either in this life or in the life after death.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
So this particular verse we will go Sarvasya Cham Hridayasannishto. It is 15.15.
Hmm.
It's very nice verse. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदय सन्निविष्टो मतः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानम् अपोहनं च वैदेश्य सर्वैरहमैव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहम्. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. So, Krishna is seated in everyone's heart, and he is giving what? Remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness. So, he is reminding them of his past actions. Hmm? But those who are Krishna consciousness, they are acting under his direction, and they don't suffer or enjoy. Just like, um, a soldier is there and he goes to fight in a battlefield and he kills many people, many enemies. And after coming, what does the king or the government do? Do they put him to jail? You killed so many
They
people.
reward they reward them, Prabhuji,
Yeah,
by
they
giving
reward him.
medals and
Now the same
money.
soldier goes home and then he picks up a fight with his neighbor and he kills the neighbor. Now what will the same government do?
Put him in jail.
Put him in jail. Yes. So if he does the act of killing in the direction of the authority, then there is no reaction for him. But if he does it for his own enjoyment, for his own self attachment, for his own attachment, then he has to suffer, right? Ishtam anishtam mishram. He has to suffer. He has to either go to heavenly planet or hellish planets or human birth, whatever. So this is what it means. Hmm? Any question on this? Any questions?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. Read the translation.
The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action.
Yeah. So very interestingly now, Krishna is teaching us uh, that there are 5 things which affect any result. So if we do any activity, it's actually combination of these 5 things. Place of action, the body. The body, we use the body to do, right? Any activity. It is first done in thinking, willing, and feeling. The performer, the soul, how he's doing it. The various senses are used to perform that activity, right? Many different kinds of endeavors that happen to perform that activity, yes or no? So endeavor is there, use of our senses is there, the person is doing it, and he's using his body also, place of action, and ultimately the super soul. So super soul decides how much should be the result. Getting?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So it's like this is plus, the performer is plus, this is plus, the endeavor, and ultimately the super soul decides. So if you make a mathematical formula, how it becomes? Getting? Is equal to result. All these activities they add up, but ultimately Krishna decides. So if any of these activity are, say, let's say the senses are bad, let's say the body is some diseased, then what will be the result? Definitely the result will be affected, right? But if Krishna decides great result, then even a handicapped person will make great results. Like sometimes they will get this Olympic gold medal and all that. They will use their leg and make such a nice painting, which even those with good body they cannot make it, right? So like that it is. This is how any activity gets into results. Okay. Any question? Any comment? Okay. So it's 8:30. We'll stop here. If there are no questions, we'll stop here, and tomorrow we'll start with the same verse. Hmm? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.